Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. If you are new, if you've been watching me, of course, welcome back. Welcome back, y'all, for real. So as you guys can tell, if you are paying attention or if you have been watching me or if you care, I have been slacking on videos because I just don't feel motivated. I don't have the motivation to do YouTube anymore, but I'm gonna keep pushing. I'm gonna just keep trying, like whatever. So as you guys can tell by the title, today's video is gonna be my labor and delivery story time, and I'm gonna tell y'all everything I went through. And if you are planning on having a kid, please consider all the things you're gonna have to go through. Because for one, my pregnancy was not all of that. It wasn't the best because I threw up for 7 months straight, but that's besides the point. Let's get straight into the story time. Okay, so we're gonna start off with the day before I went into labor, which was the 23rd. Okay, so on the 23rd, I decided I was tired, my hips was hurting. I was just ready to have her at this point. So I went to the store and I bought some castor oil. So I bought the castor oil. If you've been watching me, then you saw that video. I bought the castor oil and I took it at like on the 23rd around like 11 at night or 12 at night maybe. So I took it, I'm ready for her to come, like hopefully she comes, and I regretted it as soon as I took it because that's when literally all of the pain started. 5 hours after I took that castor oil, literally I started having contractions. I started cramping. Felt like I had to use the bathroom. I tried to go to the bathroom and couldn't go, so I was cramping really bad. And I've never been pregnant before, so I didn't know what contractions felt like, but I just knew I was cramping. So I would cramp and then it'll only last for like a few seconds, maybe like a minute, and it'll stop. Then a couple minutes again, it kept reoccurring. So I called my hospital and I'm like, I'm not sure if I'm having contractions, but I keep having cramps and it's back to back. She like, well, how far apart are they? I'm like, I think they're 5 minutes apart because the last 3 I had started like, trying to keep track of it to see if this was really it. So she was like, well, okay, well, give it like 2 more hours. So I hung up the phone and I'm like, okay, 2 more hours. I'm gonna try to go to sleep and give it 2 more hours. So I lay down and the cramping just get worse. So then I called my sister and I'm like, Diamond, I think I'm having contractions. I think I'm finna go into labor. But she's like, do you have cramps? So then in the middle of the conversation, I'm like, oh, here go another one. And like literally it was getting stronger and stronger by the minute. So honestly, like 40 minutes had went by. I still had like an hour left to wait, like the doctor had told me to. But the contractions were getting out of hand. So I waited for at least an hour. And I had like an hour left and I just couldn't take it no more. It was getting too intense and I just knew. So I started packing my stuff and getting her bags and getting my bags, and I'm like, we gotta go to the hospital. So we get in the car and on our way there, like we're like halfway there and like her head is like trying to come out. And all I felt was it was like a popping like feel like, and it was her head. I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel her head. Like, we gotta hurry up. So then that's when her dad, he started like, speeding up, trying to hurry up and get there. So then as we get to the parking lot, we looking for parking spaces. This is a hospital. Why are there no parking spaces? There's literally nowhere to park. We ride around like 3 times looking for somewhere to park. And as we riding around looking for somewhere to park, the contractions get more and more and more intense to the point where I feel like I'm about to cry. I don't think I can walk to the door. And I already feel like her head is like right here about to come out. So I'm literally like stuck. So he's riding around trying to find somewhere to park. Can't find nowhere to park. So I called a lady and I'm like, where do I park at? I'm having contractions. I called earlier about my contractions and I'm ready to come in because I can't wait no more. I can't hold it no more. So she's like, you could just get dropped off at the front and basically I get my temperature checked. So he still couldn't find a parking space, so he just went ahead and dropped me at the door. So as I get to the door, they checking my temperature, and as they check my temperature, they see that like I'm in pain. As I'm standing there, I'm like, trying to breathe, trying to keep my breathing under control. So then they grabbed me a wheelchair, and they had to wheelchair me up because literally I couldn't walk no more. Like, it was just that intense. Like, every step I took, I felt like she was gonna drop out. So they got me the wheelchair, and they wheelchaired me up. And as I'm sitting in the chair, I swear she was about to come out. But they wheelchaired me, and I finally got in there. So then they made me change my clothes. So when I went in the bathroom and I changed my clothes, my mucus plug had came out. So I'm like, oh my gosh, this is for real finna happen. Like, I ain't never had no baby. I don't know what this be. I don't know what I'm finna feel, but I know these contractions is kicking my behind, and it's just not giving what it was supposed to have gave. So once I changed my clothes, then I lay down on the bed and I start to record because I wanted to, record my labor. So I start to record, and the lady started asking me questions. Then I had to fill out all of these papers. So as I'm having these contractions and trying to record, she has me filling out all of these papers. So I'm filling out these papers, trying to concentrate on my breathing. Gotta stop. She keep asking me questions like, why are y'all asking so many questions when someone's going through, having labor and stuff like that, going through contractions? Why do you have me signing all these papers when I'm literally like in pain? So as I'm in pain, she's asking me questions. I'm like, hold on. Gotta get through this contraction. Then I answer a question. Then she asked me another question. Then I gotta get through another contraction. It was just too much. It was just everywhere. So once I finished signing the papers and stuff, she put her hand in me. She's like, oh yeah, you're ready to push. Like, literally, y'all, as soon as I got there, everything happened instantly. Like, I didn't have no time for medicine. I couldn't get an epidural. As they kept getting worse, I'm like, can I please get an epidural? Can I please? She's like, it's too late. You're about to push. So they pushed me into another room where I'm finna have labor. Y'all, why am I sitting in this room waiting for my doctor to get there? My doctor's not even here. Like, she has to drive to the hospital, y'all. So I'm sitting here. She's like, don't push yet. If you feel like you got to push, don't push yet. I'm like, how am I going to hold my baby in? Like, my body is literally fitting to push her out, and I have to sit here and wait for the doctor to get here. So I had like a good 10 contractions that was just over the moon. Like, I recorded it. I'm putting a video right here. But this was me during my contractions. I'm trying to keep calm, trying to hold my baby in and not have her and not push her out without a doctor right here to catch her. So it was just horrible. So finally, the doctor came in and she's like, okay, you're about to push. But as soon as she saw that my camera's put up, she made me cut my camera off, which I really hate that part. But yeah, as soon as I pushed as soon as the doctor came, she told me, okay, you ready to push. And at that point, my body was already pushing anyways. Like, I done pushed like 2 times. Like, I was like, So after she looked like, what's wrong with you? So after that second time my body was really trying to push on its own, my doctor ended up walking in, thank God. So as she get ready to tell me how to push and how to hold my legs, I start to do that. So I'm yelling more than I'm pushing, and she's like, no, try to focus more on pushing instead of yelling. Like, y'all, this was so painful. As I was pushing, I felt my private part ripping. I felt burning. I felt her hair. I felt my doctor's hand stretching me. Like, and I feel like her stretching me was making it worser. But that's besides the point. So yeah, as I'm pushing and pushing, finally her head come out, and the burning part is over with. Like, when I say the head is the most burning part ever, like, it burns so bad. Like, I had an anxiety attack 2 times. Like, it was that bad. Like, during my contractions, it was horrible. And then with her coming out, I think I was pushing too hard, but then I feel like my doctor was stretching me. So as soon as her head came out, I was like, woo, finally. But then her shoulders was hard to come out too. So I think it took me like a good 4, maybe 5 pushes, and she was out. Thank God. She was out. So then after she came out, the worst part was the stitches. So then they had to stitch me up, and y'all, mind y'all, I had no epidural, no medicine. I felt everything from point A all the way to point Z. So as she's stitching me, she go 1 stitch, and I feel the needle go through, then I feel the string. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm trying to focus on my baby in my hand, but I can't because I'm getting these stitches. So I'm just looking up like, how many more? And she's like, we got like 2 more. I'm like, oh my gosh. At this point, I'm about to pass out because these stitches hurt. So I got the stitches, whoop. Then after I get the stitches, then another worst part is when they come and push your stomach and push all that fluid out. It's just horrible, but it's a beautiful thing. So yeah, y'all, needless to say, I did it natural, no epidural. I wouldn't do it again. I wouldn't recommend doing it without an epidural, even though I heard epidurals cause, like, you know, back problems, but I heard you just feel pressure. It's not that much of a pain. So I kind of wish I would have experienced that so I wouldn't rip, because even when I ripped, it took like 7 months for me to heal. Like, no doing nothing. 7 months straight, not doing nothing. Nothing at all. But y'all, it was all worth it. And because now I have my big kid. Mama, come. Mama, come. This is the aftermath of having a child. You get to dress alike. You get to dress like her. And she... You boo-boo? You stink. You stink. Yeah, so y'all, I gotta change her. Let me wrap this up. But yup, this is the aftermath of having your own child. Her hair is so cute, mama. Yeah, she's trying to get to the camera, y'all. So y'all, I'm finna wrap it up because I gotta change her diaper because she don't smell too great. She might look good, she might look cute, but she's not smelling too great. So yeah, y'all, that's the end of my labor and delivery story. So please make sure y'all like and comment and subscribe. And I'm out. And I'm finna change her diaper.